What 2 strategies do you need to use to repel a covert narcissist? We're going to be talking about both in this video. Hey there, I'm Dr. Melissa. I'm a trauma expert and top doctor. And in this video and on this channel, I help you move from narcissist victim to anti-fragile narcissist survivor, creating awareness and understanding of where you're at and what you've been through, and then rising above it all to be stronger and more powerful than you were before. If this sounds like exactly what you need, click subscribe, click the notification bell, and stay tuned. Today we're talking about the 2 strategies that you need to use to repel a covert narcissist, and you need to use them both at the same time. You can't choose just one without the other. For maximum effectiveness, if you want to stop attracting narcissists, if you want to repel the ones that are seeking you as a target, you need to use both. And this is really important, right? I get asked so often, how can I make a covert narcissist avoid me like the plague, like go away? I don't want to deal with this anymore. I don't want to be in the position of always having to respond or react. I want them to go away. This is where this answer came from. The 2 strategies that will do just that. The first thing I want you to think about before we get to the strategies is I want you to have the mindset that you are the one in control of you. So often when people ask me this question, it's like, how can I make the narcissist avoid me? Well, let me tell you this, you can't make the narcissist do anything, right? I mean, minus having a restraining order or something, you can't control what the narcissist is going to do, but you have full control over what you do, how you respond, the situations that you put yourself in. And so really when you think about this as what can I do to repel a covert narcissist, now you have complete control, which is a great place to be. So let's talk about why the covert narcissist is approaching you in the first place. They're doing this for one of 2 reasons. They're either wanting to get narcissistic supply from you, or they're wanting to look good in front of others to get narcissistic supply from them. With a covert narcissist, if they are approaching you, they may want to get supply from you by you feeling badly for them, feeling compassion for them, feeling like they're kind of a wounded, broken human and you feel like you have to be nice to them. That gives them supply. If they are a white knight type of narcissist, they may do things like be the first one to help out and volunteer at something, or stop and dig someone's car out of the snowbank, or take meals to a family in need. And they're not doing those things from a place of kindness or compassion. They're doing it because it makes them look good to others, and those others giving them praise and admiration and respect give them narcissistic supply. Those are 2 examples of why they're approaching you in the first place. And it's important when you think then about how you're going to respond. So now the 2 strategies. The first strategy is indifference. Indifference is the ultimate form of emotional neutrality. You see this covert narcissist kind of like a little gnat, a nuisance, like shoe bug, like they just don't get under your skin. They don't make you angry. They don't make you scared. They don't make you jealous. You don't really care that they're in your space or in your field, that they're approaching you at all. It's kind of like, just go away, find someone else. And the important thing is not that you act indifferent. The important thing on your path of healing is that you actually become indifferent. Because you might act like you haven't noticed them, Like, oh, I didn't see you over there. But they are going to know that you totally saw them over there and now you're acting indifferent. And that gives them narcissistic supply. And that is a green light for them to continue approaching you in this interaction and again in the future. So over time, you want to cultivate how to actually be indifferent. And we'll talk about that in another video. So what does this look like in the real world? Maybe you run into the covert narcissist at the store. Whatever. Maybe this covert narcissist happens to be a friend at a friend's party. You don't really even notice. You're talking to the people you're hanging out with, and there's a lot of people there. Maybe the covert narcissist stops by your work because they know they can catch you there. And you're like, oh, you're here? And you go back to working. Indifference is huge as a strategy in making yourself a very unattractive to a covert narcissist and thus repelling them. If you don't give them supply, they will not continue to put in the time and the effort to try to get it from you. The second strategy is when it is appropriate, you call out their behavior, and you do that in front of other people, not for the purposes of humiliating them or making them, out to be a horrible human being. We're not talking about some big, giant, dramatic show. And again, this has to be paired with the indifference. You just call out what's going on. Almost like you're a sports commentator. So-and-so's got the ball. They pass it off to this person. You're just kind of calling the plays as you see them from a place of sheer indifference. So say the covert narcissist is in a store with friends and they run into you, and the covert narcissist acts all scared and says, please, I don't want any trouble, when you've never been violent or had any issue like that with them or with anyone. And you just very calmly say, that's called playing the victim, and that just doesn't work on me. And then you walk away. Say you're out at that party and the covert narcissist comes up to you and says, why are you stalking me? I just wanted a night out with friends. Now, I'll tell you, the natural response is to want to go down this rabbit hole of, oh yeah, I'm not stalking you. I was friends with these people first. They invited me. I've been coming to this party for 7 years. You only met them 6 months ago when I introduced you, blah, blah, whatever. Defending yourself, getting wrapped up in the circumstance. Let me tell you, that is exactly what they want. That is giving them narcissistic supply. That is making them relevant. You defending yourself makes them relevant, especially when you're doing it in front of other people. They've got you exactly where they want you if you slide into that trap. But instead, if you can call it out for what it is with indifference, that's called projection. That doesn't work on me. And then walk away. You've just taken all of the air out of their sails. And there's nothing else to say after that. Say the covert narcissist who's come to your work to try to catch you because you're not responding to them and says, I really miss you. I was hoping we could talk, in front of all of your coworkers, of course. And you say, that's a great example of manipulation. That no longer works on me. And then you go back to doing your job. That is how you use indifference and calling it out as the two strategies to repel the covert narcissist. Now, why does it work? First, your indifference is not giving them any narcissistic supply. They're not getting the narcissistic supply that they wanted from you. They're not getting you to defend yourself. They're not getting you to have to listen to their sob story about whatever it is they did and how they've changed. They're not getting narcissistic supply from you. So what are they counting on? They're counting on that they would be getting it from the other people that are watching this interaction. If they come up to you in that store with their friends and they're acting like they're terrified that you're going to accost them, and you don't say anything and you just walk away, their friends may be left thinking that that's true. Now, if you can't respond from a place of indifference, that's still your safest move. But if you can say you're playing the victim and that doesn't work on me in a very calm and neutral manner, their friends might start thinking, oh, you know what, this person does do that a lot. I've seen this before. Maybe the things that they have said about you are not actually true. Or at that party, when the covert narcissist comes up and accuses you of stalking them, you can be indifferent and you can walk away. But the people that are around are going to be like, oh my gosh, you know, was she stalking him or was he stalking her? Like, oh, I didn't think she was that way, or I didn't think he was that way. That's like kind of scary. But if you instead say, that's projection and it doesn't work on me, now they automatically have a different view in their mind of this interaction. They have a different view of what's actually going on. Likewise, if the covert narcissist comes to your work, if they were saying, oh, I miss you and I just want to chat for a few minutes, I just want to connect, it's been so long, I'm having such a hard time, and you were just like, screw you, and walked away, you could be taking care of yourself that way. And if that's the best you can do, that's okay. But your coworkers, the other people at your work, may be thinking like, oh, you know, I don't want to get on her bad side or his bad side. That's not cool. But if you instead said, you know what, that's manipulation, it no longer works on me, and you left, now all of a sudden you're in a position of naming for them something that they weren't able to name for themselves. They may have known something was off. They may have thought the situation was awkward and weird. They didn't particularly like being, you know, party to it as a witness. But now you've named it. Oh, that's what it is. This person is trying to manipulate you. And you're able to walk away. Wow, that's awesome. So now the covert narcissist has not gotten supply from the people watching this either. They've actually lost status as opposed to trying to gain it with their efforts. And this will make you very unattractive to them in the future. Very unlikely that they will confront you, especially if they do this a few times and you keep responding the same way. Indifference, and with indifference in your tone, calling out exactly what their behavior is and ending the conversation, they're going to stop. And if you do the same sort of thing with anyone new who comes into your life, you know, anyone new who tries to manipulate you or project or deflect or deny or those kind of things, you will quickly make yourself very unattractive as a target, which really is what we all want. If that's what you want, go ahead and type, I am not a target, in the comments. Click subscribe, click the notification bell, and then share this message with a friend, a family member, a coworker, someone that you know needs to hear it. And if you know that you have healing to do from a narcissistic relationship in the past, and you want to move along that path from narcissist victim to anti-fragile narcissist survivor, download my free guide, hop on my email list, and you can see where you're at on this path and what steps are going to take you further. What actions are going to move you further along on this journey. It's all a matter of sequence and doing things in the right order to get to where you want to go. That can be downloaded at narclesslife.com. I'm Dr. Melissa, and I will see you in the next video.